If you love discovering rare moments from the past, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more fascinating stories from history. Imagine walking into a hospital ward packed wall to wall with patients. This haunting image captures the reality of a major medical crisis, where overcrowding pushed hospitals beyond their limits. Every bed tells a story of fear, survival, and resilience during one of America's most challenging public health emergencies. The war was finally over. Packed onto this ship, thousands of American servicemen celebrate their long-awaited journey home. After years of danger and sacrifice, these smiling faces represent relief, victory, and the hope of reuniting with loved ones waiting across the ocean. On a busy city street, three young musicians perform beside a classic American car. Their simple instruments and determined expressions reflect an era when talent and hard work often meant everything. For many families, street performances helped put food on the table. This peaceful farm scene shows a side of America often forgotten. Long before massive industrial agriculture, small family farms dotted the countryside. These grazing cows represent a slower pace of life, where communities relied heavily on local farms for milk, food, and income. This is the iconic Brooklyn Bridge in its early years. Notice the elegant clothing and quiet walkway. At the time, crossing this bridge was more than transportation. It was a symbol of American innovation, connecting communities and proving that seemingly impossible engineering dreams could become reality. At first glance, this looks like an ordinary group portrait, but the unusual expressions and eerie atmosphere make it feel unsettling today. Early photography required people to remain perfectly still for long exposures, often creating images that appear strangely haunting to modern viewers. Before modern delivery trucks and highways, crowded market streets like this kept America moving. Horse-drawn wagons, merchants and workers filled these bustling neighborhoods. Every crate, barrel, and package helped fuel the rapid growth of American cities during the early 20th century. Step inside a neighborhood bakery from more than a century ago. Fresh bread, pastries, and friendly faces greeted customers daily. Small family-owned businesses like this formed the heart of many communities, serving generations long before supermarkets transformed the American shopping experience. This small rural schoolhouse tells a powerful story about education in early America. Children from different backgrounds often learned together in a single classroom. Despite limited resources, these schools helped shape future generations and opened doors to opportunities that once seemed unreachable. Covered wagons crossing rugged landscapes became symbols of the American frontier. Families traveled hundreds of miles through harsh conditions, searching for land, opportunity, and a better future. Every journey carried uncertainty, but also the dream of building a new life in the West. Welcome to the golden age of the American road trip. Motels like this popped up across the country as families explored the nation by car. Bright signs, classic automobiles, and affordable rooms became symbols of freedom, adventure, and the growing car culture of 1950s America. This weathered vessel tells a story of hard work on America's waterways. Long before modern cargo systems, crews relied on skill, strength, and determination to move goods across rivers and coasts. Every rope, plank, and tool reflects the demanding life of maritime workers. Before smartphones and instant messaging, this was the heart of global communication. Telephone operators manually connected calls by plugging cables into switchboards. A single conversation between cities, or even continents, often depended on the speed and precision of these highly trained workers. Travel in the early 20th century looked very different. Horse-drawn carriages carried visitors through scenic landscapes, offering a slower and more personal way to explore America. What feels ordinary today was once a memorable adventure that connected people with nature and history. These men helped keep steam-powered America running. Whether working on railroads, ferries, or industrial operations, crews like this performed demanding jobs that fueled the nation's growth. Their uniforms and weathered faces reflect years of labor during a rapidly changing era. This bustling fairground was more than entertainment. It was a community gathering place. Families came to enjoy attractions, discover new inventions, and connect with neighbors. Events like these brought excitement to small towns and showcased the optimism of a growing America. Hidden among the hills, this mining settlement reveals the harsh reality behind America's industrial expansion. Workers lived and labored in remote communities, extracting the resources that powered factories and railroads. Life was difficult, but these towns played a major role in shaping the nation. This dramatic image captures the terrifying power of the Dust Bowl. Massive walls of dust swept across communities during the 1930s, destroying farmland and forcing families to leave their homes. It remains one of the most devastating environmental disasters in American history. Step inside a classic American soda fountain, where friends gathered for ice cream, soft drinks, and conversation. Long before fast food chains dominated the landscape, places like this served as social hubs, bringing together people from all walks of life in a warm community setting. At first glance, this family portrait seems ordinary, but early cameras required long exposure times, causing people to stand perfectly still. Combined with aged photographs and fading details, images like this often appear mysterious, offering a fascinating glimpse into everyday American life long ago. This powerful group portrait shows industrial workers standing proudly beside massive machinery. During America's rapid industrial expansion, workers like these built factories, railroads, ships, and infrastructure that transformed the nation into an economic powerhouse. A grand downtown building like this symbolized prosperity and ambition in early 20th century America. These towering structures housed luxury stores, offices, and hotels, becoming landmarks that reflected the growing wealth and confidence of American cities. Before buses and modern transit systems took over, electric streetcars connected neighborhoods and downtown districts. They were affordable, reliable, and helped shape the growth of American cities by allowing people to travel farther from where they worked. This photograph captures a group of young newsboys eagerly reading the latest headlines. Many children in large cities earned money by selling newspapers on busy streets. Their work provided valuable income for families, but often involved long hours and difficult conditions. An amusement park like this represented the excitement of a new century. Families came to enjoy rides, games, music, and dazzling electric lights. For many visitors, these parks offered a magical escape from everyday life. This small town street offers a glimpse into daily American life more than a century ago. Local businesses lined the roads, and residents often walked between shops, theaters, and offices, creating the close-knit atmosphere that defined many communities. This incredible scene shows thousands of logs floating together during the height of the logging era. Lumber was one of America's most important industries, supplying wood for homes, railroads, factories, and rapidly growing cities across the country. Life on the frontier was rarely easy. Families living in simple wooden homes faced harsh weather, limited resources, and isolation. Yet their determination helped establish communities that would eventually grow into towns and cities. Fashion changed dramatically during the 1920s and 1930s. The stylish clothing, hats, and confident expressions in this portrait reflect a period when modern culture, consumerism, and new social trends were reshaping American society. Before motorized delivery trucks became common, horse-drawn wagons handled much of the transportation within towns and cities. They delivered food, supplies, and goods, serving as an essential part of everyday commerce in early America. This photograph appears to show a community gathering, likely in a church or meeting hall. The elderly woman reading from a book may be leading a service, lesson, or community event. Such gatherings were important centers of faith, education, and social life, especially in rural America. A traditional barbershop was once much more than a place for haircuts. Men gathered here to exchange news, discuss politics, and socialize. In many towns, the local barbershop served as an informal community hub. This image captures a worker overseeing cotton as it moves through processing machinery. Cotton played a major role in the Southern economy for generations, providing jobs while fueling America's textile industry. A family gathered on a porch, sharing a book together. Before television and the internet, reading was one of the most popular forms of entertainment and education, bringing families together during quiet evenings. This bustling city scene highlights urban America during the early 20th century. Streetcars, pedestrians, and growing commercial buildings illustrate how rapidly American cities expanded during this era of economic development. A group of boys is intensely focused on a game being played on the sidewalk. Simple games and street activities provided endless entertainment for children long before video games and smartphones existed. Horse-drawn transportation remained common in many rural communities even after automobiles became popular. Wagons like this were essential for delivering goods, transporting families, and handling farm work. These dock workers posed proudly on a ship or waterfront worksite. America's ports were critical to trade and industry, and laborers like these helped move enormous quantities of cargo across the nation and around the world. This striking image shows a lighthouse keeper or naval worker inspecting the powerful lens mechanism inside a lighthouse. These lights guided ships safely through dangerous waters and were essential for maritime navigation. A group of neighborhood children smiles and waves for the camera. Photographs like this offer a rare glimpse into everyday childhood, showing how young Americans played, socialized, and grew up in their local communities decades ago. This image shows a box of sweets inspired by the history of candy in America. It highlights how sugar, chocolate, and confectionery products evolved from luxury treats into everyday snacks enjoyed by millions. A massive crowd gathers at a busy train station, likely for an important arrival, departure, or public event. Railroads were the lifeline of America, connecting cities and transforming travel, trade, and communication. An early amusement park attraction called the Jack Rabbit Ride welcomes visitors. Roller coasters and amusement parks became popular family entertainment in the early 20th century, offering excitement and escape from daily life. This nighttime drive-in theater scene captures a uniquely American tradition. Families and couples watched movies from their cars, making drive-ins a cultural icon of the 1950s and 1960s. Farm workers harvest crops across a vast agricultural field. Agriculture formed the backbone of many American communities, and harvest season often involved the entire family working together. A harbor crowded with fishing boats and working vessels reflects the importance of maritime industries. Fishing communities supplied food, supported local economies, and helped build coastal cities. These uniformed men appear to be transportation or railway employees posing for a group photograph. Such workers played a crucial role in keeping passengers, mail, and goods moving across the country. A quiet street lined with iron balconies and historic architecture, likely in an older southern city. Streets like these preserve a glimpse of America's architectural heritage and daily life from another era. This artwork depicts a cattle drive in the American West. Cowboys guided large herds across long distances, helping shape the image of the frontier that became a lasting symbol of American history. Passengers enjoy a meal aboard a luxury train dining car. Rail travel once offered an elegant experience, with fine dining, attentive service, and comfortable accommodations for long journeys across the nation. This illustration depicts a large public reading room or library from the late 19th or early 20th century. Such institutions became important centers of education, giving ordinary Americans access to books, newspapers, and knowledge. A city sanitation worker sweeps the street while a horse-drawn garbage wagon collects waste. Before modern sanitation systems, workers like these helped keep rapidly growing cities clean and healthy. A group of children proudly displays baskets filled with fruits and vegetables. The image reflects community harvest traditions and the important role children often played in rural family life. Residents gather outside a local business while a woman carries newspapers. In the early 1900s, newspapers were the primary source of information, connecting communities to national and world events. This frontier town street captures the appearance of many Western settlements during America's expansion era. Dirt roads, wooden storefronts, and horse-drawn transportation were common sights. A festive parade moves through a decorated street lined with flags and spectators. Community celebrations, holidays, and civic events brought towns together and strengthened local identity. People walk through a residential neighborhood of modest homes. Images like this provide a glimpse into everyday urban life and how communities developed during periods of rapid population growth. An enormous crowd fills city streets, surrounding streetcars and vehicles. Such gatherings often marked major public events, political celebrations, parades, or significant moments in local history. A small waterfront gift shop stands along a historic wharf. Coastal trading centers and harbors have long been important hubs for commerce, tourism, and maritime culture. An early automobile is parked outside a large home while several people pose beside it. At the beginning of the automobile age, owning a car was often considered a symbol of wealth, progress, and modern living. This dramatic image shows construction workers high above the city on a massive steel structure, likely during the early skyscraper boom. These workers helped transform American skylines, often laboring at dangerous heights with minimal safety equipment. A street vendor stands beside a hand-pulled cart in a quiet town. Before supermarkets and modern delivery systems, vendors like these sold food, drinks, and household goods directly to local residents, playing an important role in daily community life. If these images touched your heart, please subscribe and join us on this journey through the past.